Hello and welcome to Reporters, our look at the very best of France 24 from all around the world. Now, Tunisia is about to go to the polls, not though as it used to in rigged elections that time after time would return former President Zine Abidine Ben Ali to power with results of over 90%. No, this time Tunisians are actually going to face a choice, and a bewildering one at that. Indeed, more than 80 political parties are competing to sit in a new assembly that will be drafting the country's new constitution, the foundation stone, it is hoped, of a democratic Tunisia. So just what complexion will this new Tunisia have? Many analysts predict a resounding victory for the moderate Islamist Ennahda party. France 24 went to have a closer look at it on the campaign trail. This report by Jean-Marie Lemaire, Rim Matlouti and Julien Félix.
Sidi Bouzid is in the midst of its first electoral campaign. For this new experience of democracy, the beginnings are shaky. In a few months, the country has acquired political movements unheard of until now. Even the Ba'ath Party, using the image of Saddam Hussein, is presenting a plan for the country. Tunisians are discovering the political parties and new faces of a free Tunisia. It is here, in Sidi Bouzid, that Mohamed Bouaziz set himself on fire and became the symbol of the Tunisian revolution. This is also where the Islamic party Ennahda has decided to launch its campaign. The first step is meeting the people. The candidates are just starting out in politics and are learning as they go along. The city's cafe is the ideal testing ground for the Ennahda candidate.
Hello, gentlemen. This is the program for the Ennahda party. Do you want one also? My name is Mohamed Tahart Lili, your local candidate. We have 365 points in our program. You know about this. I think you have confidence in us. With trust, information, and our history, thanks to God, everything will go well. And after 4 or 5 years, if you don't like a certain party, you can change it. That's how democracy works.
Ennahda, a religious party, was banned up until now, but Tunisians know and respect its activists. Everyone knows how much they were tortured, arrested and sometimes killed for their ideas. It makes them one of the most important parties in these elections. But in Sidi Bouzid, the young players of the revolution are still confused and remain unaffiliated with any political movement.
Their words are just hot air. We don't put trust in anyone, not even a little. We don't believe in either the right or the left, the Salafists, or in the communist Hana Hamami's parties. We don't trust them because they are all manipulated from abroad. As for Sidi Bouzid, we have to continue managing on our own. The same way we achieved the revolution, we can rebuild our country.
The problem is, there are too many parties. In Sidi Bouzid, we have around 64 charities and parties. Half of them are charities, the other half are parties. People don't know what to choose. There are about 5 or so well-known parties. Ennahda is one of them. We have faith in the people, and the people have faith in us.
It's the big day at the Sidi Bouzid headquarters, and the party is preparing the first meeting of the campaign. Everything must be perfect. Badges, flags, leaflets are organised. There are a lot of men, but few women, and the Quran is never far away. The campaigners make sure that the flags are visible. The voters must remember the party emblem.
That's the pigeon of salvation. The wings are open forwards, which means we're moving ahead, but we're not moving backwards. The wings are open towards the future, to embrace all of Tunisia.
Rached Ghannouchi, one of the leaders and creator of the Ennahda party, has come to Sidi Bouzid for the special occasion. The Sheikh, as he's called here, is welcomed as a symbol of Islamist activism. Back in Tunisia after 20 years of exile in London, he is here to encourage and advise the candidates. His detractors accuse him of being two-faced and of belonging to terrorist movements.
playing up the Islamist threat. That was Ben Ali's strategy. The revolution has taken away the fear. The Ben Ali system doesn't exist anymore now. Everyone puts forward their party proposals and must accept the choice of the people. People have suffered because they weren't allowed to choose. We must accept the result. In democracy, there's no clear winner or loser. After 1 year, there can be other elections.
There's a festive atmosphere at the amphitheatre in Sidi Bouzid. The meeting starts in a few hours, and the campaigners are hard at work. Young people welcome the public, and the party flags and programmes are distributed. Everything must be perfect. Bayatollah is 18 years old. She takes her role to heart and defends the party against common misconceptions.
My friends often ask me, how could you love Ennahda? Later they're going to order you around and won't ever let you leave the house. I tell them, no, that's wrong. You have the image of the Salafists in mind. It's true that we were once with the Salafists, but we're not like them. We'll never wear the niqab. Everyone does what they want to do.
Bayatollah has always been immersed in the world of the Islamist party. Her activist father spent 8 years in Ben Ali's prisons. Now, free again, he can finally express his ideas.
I can't come and pressure you and oblige you to put on the veil, force you to do it. No. There must be satisfaction in it. When you're satisfied, you alone will decide to commit. If God guides you, you will come to it naturally. If not, we will accept you.
This event had to happen. Remember the martyrs' fight. Remember the victims and those who suffered. We're all here to live together and share this beautiful Tunisia, this free Tunisia.
From Sousse, Sfax, Bizerte and Tunis, the activists have come to support the candidates of Sidi Bouzid. Beya Jawadi is one of the Ennahda candidates. She didn't apply. The party chose her out of dedication to male-female equality. Convinced by her programme, she is now thrust into the spotlight. She personifies a modernist vision, similar to the Turkish AK party. Beya Jawadi is a teacher, and it's in high school and at university that she started getting involved with the Islamist movement that became the Ennahda party. Today, she has 3 gifted children.
A's in Arabic, A+ in religion, geography, and also in maths. People have created a false image of us. They think that at Ennahda we are close-minded, or that we don't know anything and are behind the times. That's not true. In reality, the people here debate, and we love foreign languages.
Education and freedom of choice, these are values that Bey says she is passing on to her girls.
I'm involved in politics, and my sister has other interests. She buys French magazines, like Witch, and other ones.
In this rural part of Tunisia, the young people of Ennahda seem quite different than the Salafist image projected by Ben Ali. Following the road that leaves Sidi Bouzid, Tunisia's face gradually changes. Far from the idleness of the interior, Tunis presents the image of a modern country. To succeed in the next elections, it's necessary to win in 2 areas: the countryside and the city, the forgotten and the developed Tunisia. Ennahda is credited with 20% of future voter support, which isn't enough to win a majority. The party still has to attract a portion of the population attached to a Western way of life. According to the political pundit Hamadi Radissa, for now, its sympathisers only represent 1 in 5 Tunisians.
Et la bataille, c'est sur le second Tunisien.
The battle will take place over the more liberal Tunisians. If the Islamists win them over, they'll have won Tunisia not just for a long time, but forever. And to win over that part of the population which is middle class, urban, educated, westernized, and spends its holidays in Hammamet in a miniskirt drinking an aperitif on the day of Eid, Ennahda's got to change, not the Tunisians.
Pour gagner ce deuxième Tunisien, il faut que l'Ennahda change, mais pas les Tunisiens.
A final briefing, and here campaigners from the Bardo neighbourhood are ready to head out in search of votes. Ennahda has softened its discourse considerably. If speech has been freed since the revolution, the right wing of the party has remained quiet. Forgotten are references to the Muslim Brotherhood from its beginnings. Today, they prefer to speak of a moderate Islam that is more reassuring and unifying. Ouda Ben Aisha is one of these moderate militants. She recently joined the ranks of the Islamist Party. This 26-year-old architect was one of the first to head into the streets to topple Ben Ali. Today, she has chosen to get involved in politics. And nothing irritates her more than the demonization of her party.
Some say that if Ennahda takes power, it will impose the veil. We have never said this. This is not in our principles, nor in our objectives, or in our programs. I ask myself where they get this prejudice from. We have never said that. We have never, ever said that.
Shift in ideology or political maneuver, religion remains at the heart of Ennahda's plan.
God gave us Islam, and Islam is the most perfect thing in the world. I am speaking as a Muslim. So the party will use Islam as a source for all social, cultural, political, athletic projects. This party has the most adequate solutions for everyone, with all different ideologies and their beliefs.
With the rise of this party, many political groups of all kinds debate the Islamist spectre. The Etakatol Social Democrats are rare because they don't play this game. For them, the danger lies elsewhere.
Many parties were born out of the wreckage of the RCD. And those people never had the decency to say, difficult times lie ahead of us as we look at mistakes of the past. I think the voters are aware the most important thing to avoid is reinstating another Ben Ali-style regime.
Amongst the 100 or so competing parties, Ennahda is one of the major political forces in the country. But it is not the only one. These elections will be the first chance for Tunisians to discover the faces of a newborn democracy.
Well, joining me now in the studio is Julien Félix for more on that. So you've been following Ennahda's campaign trail. No surprise that they chose Sidi Bouzid as their heart.
Indeed, Sidi Bouzid is that symbolic place where the revolution started. I mean, it was everywhere, of course, but that was the initial start. And the revolution came from the bottom. It wasn't the political parties, it wasn't the elite, and everybody is trying to show themselves as having been legitimate, as having participated in the revolution. And the Islamists are playing that same game. They're putting forward that image, and they are referring back to their history because they did suffer under Ben Ali. Like the communists, they were imprisoned, they were tortured, many of them were killed, they have martyrs, and they're talking about that in order to give themselves legitimacy.
Now, of course, for the outside world watching these elections, Tunisia was the first of the Arab Spring countries. It is holding the first elections. Everyone is watching with great intent to see what happens. Will the Islamists take power? And of course, the idea of a moderate Islamist party leading in the polls rings alarm bells elsewhere in the outside world. Is the outside world right to be worried?
It's difficult to say right now. Now, Ennahda was very radical in the 90s through its spokespersons, but today they're very moderate, reassuring. We're not fundamentalist Islamists, we're very much in favor of the Turkish model and so on. So they would like to be believed, because in fact all of the other parties are playing the same game. They're saying, there's the Islamist threat, they're pointing their finger at Ennahda, but they're saying the opposite. I mean, if you look at their program, it's quite moderate. It's a very nice, light program, and we'll have to see what actually transpires. What is true, there have been some radical demonstrations against film directors, against a university where a student was turned away for wearing a niqab, against a private television station. Now, these are Salafists. They seem to be in the minority. They tried to set up a party that was prohibited. They made a lot of noise. One hears them a lot, but they are certainly in the minority and no doubt manipulated by some individuals who would like to see the electoral process in Tunisia fail. They would like to see these first free elections not succeed. And these are people who were close to the former regime. There are a lot of people who were close to the former RCD, to Ben Ali, who have important positions, and it would be in their interest that things not succeed.
Julien Felix, thanks very much for having been with us today. That brings us to the end of this edition of Reporters. We'll be back there very shortly for another. Do stay with us here on France 24.